My name is Paul Brodsky, Senior Analyst here at TeleGeography and the Product Manager for the IP Networks Research Service. Let's dive into the Data tab right here, okay? All right. So the Data tab is itself subdivided into searches, downloads, and profiles, and also maps. So let's get started with the Internet Bandwidth and Traffic search, okay? As you can see, we can search at the country level, at the sub-regional level, or at the regional level. Let's start at the country level. We can search either country to country or by a country total, so that is a country summary. Okay, let's type in a country here. Let's say Austria, particularly interested in that country. And we can view a historical bandwidth on a route level from Austria to other countries. And we can also view country summary. That is what is the totals out of Austria, both historically, as you can see here, and forecast going forward. Okay, at this point, let's reset our selection and just note that we can also search at the sub-regional level or the regional level for historic capacity numbers here, and we also forecast that capacity out into the future. And we can also look at, instead of simply bandwidth, we're also showing historical capacity for traffic as well. Okay, let's take a look at what's downloadable here. There's basically two types. The first is information on providers. There's 4 of them. And also information on our forecasts, 1, 2, 3, 4. When we refer to providers, what we're referring to really is our analysis of just how connected the world's autonomous systems really are. We break them out into 4 data sets. Global, which you see here. Top providers by region, top providers by country, and top providers to broadband ISPs. In the forecast section, we're forecasting IP transit traffic and IP transit pricing as well. If you combine the two, you get forecasted IP transit revenues. Let's take a look at one of these. See, here we can see total IP transit traffic. We have historical numbers, and we have our forecast numbers as well, including our forecast growth rates. We also include information on IP transit pricing, and put the two together, roughly speaking, and you get IP transit revenues. And again, historical data, forecast data, compounded annual growth rate estimates going forward. This information is all in a downloadable spreadsheet form. What else do we have here? We have provider profiles. These are actually profiles of various internet service providers, their home country, the AS numbers that they operate. Let's take a look at one of these. So here's the ISP, their address, sales contacts and technical contacts as well, some commentary, a list of what IXs they are present in. Let's click on that. That leads you to our IX map. Let's go back to the data section and see what else we have. Maps. We do love our maps at TeleGeography. And all this international bandwidth data that we have collected. Here we have major international internet routes, really for every region of the world. Here's Africa, Asia, Europe, and what else do we have here? We have more of an interactive map here as well, where you can basically hover over any country. Here's Brazil, and you can see what their international internet bandwidth looks like. So let's look at our analysis section. So as you can see, the data section provides an enormous amount of data and information on international bandwidth and traffic, but what does it all mean? We put a lot of effort into trying to interpret this data and the trends that we've been seeing in the international bandwidth markets for many, many years. And so here's an analysis section. It's comprised of findings, which is really an executive summary, capacity and traffic trends, where you can see a fairly in-depth discussion of what we're seeing in the markets. A lot of figures here, a lot of trends going forward, market share, And there's a discussion, of course, on IP transit marketing trends, IP transit pricing trends, what factors are actually impacting the markets for IP transit, etc. That should do it. I hope this has been a very helpful and useful guide to the use of our IP Networks Research Service. Thank you.